Hello. Most people call me Moon. I am a hobby haver, and one of my hobbies is figure collecting. There are boxes. Let us go unbox them. In the interest of your ears and mine, I decided to just dub over the unboxing. The audio from the video recording is perfectly comprehensible, but it also sounds like extremely cursed ASMR, and this microphone, while imperfect, is a much more preferable alternative. So, as you can see, I have a box from the Big Bad Toy Store. This is actually my first BBTS purchase. If you like to compare prices between shops, you'll know BBTS tends to list their items at a higher cost than other retailers, but in this case, I found that the price for the figures I bought were pretty much the same across the board. And BBTS has that glorious $4 flat rate shipping. I've actually been really curious about how they package their flat rate packages, and since these are lower end figures, this was a great opportunity. Now, what the heck did I get? Well, I purchased the prize figures of Neku and Rhyme from The World Ends With You, based on their appearances in The World Ends With You, the animation. One thing to know about me is that I am a gamer, one who favors JRPGs. And so, unsurprisingly, I am quite a big fan of multiple games published by Square Enix. So, here we are. As someone who often tortures herself with figures that need any assembly far beyond a quick plunk and blonk, I found it refreshing to be able to just stick Neku's foot in the base and be done. To be honest, I'm pretty impressed. This was about $25 and there's a solid amount of detail in the clothes and the skin, especially the arms and hands. I also love the pose as well. It's dynamic and it's reminiscent of what you see in the source material. The hair could use some polishing, but honestly, it looks really good in my opinion, and I am happy with my purchase. Now we're going to open Rhyme. Like Neku, I was quite impressed with how good she looks for $25. Assembly for her actually gave me a bit of trouble, even though it's literally just sticking her foot into a couple of holes. I had to take a break and Google some product photos to make sure I was pushing it in the right direction. And I got it in pretty quickly after that, at the cost of a small scratch on the base. Still, she looks really nice, and she's a really good size as well, her and Neku both. I would give my experience rating for my first BBTS purchase a solid, I have nothing to complain about. So, still continuing with Truey, actually, I have here my other package from my preferred store at present, AmiAmi. This one contains two figures from the Square Enix Bring Arts line. One is Shoka from Neo, The World Ends With You, and the other is Namine from the Kingdom Hearts series. So, when I first saw the product images for Shoka online, my reaction was pretty much, "Oh honey, I am so sorry." Like, they just didn't look good, but considering Shoka is unlikely to get much, if any, more merch, I decided pretty quickly that I'd get her anyway. Initially, I actually pre-ordered this from the Square Enix store for the exclusive acrylic stand that came with it, just the Neo Truey title, but I ultimately decided to go with the quicker, less expensive option. Remember, never order from the Square Enix store unless it's an exclusive, or you're aiming for a points reward. Or you just really want to give Square your money that badly, which you can do by purchasing The World Ends With You Final Remix and Neo The World Ends With You. Not sponsored, just very good games. I have to say, I love the Bring Arts boxes. They're really pretty and I really like looking at them. The figures themselves, To be honest, I was pleasantly surprised to see that Shoka looks a bit better than in the product photos. She has her phone, an extra tail, some stylized speech bubbles right out of the game. They're actually both in Japanese and English, which is really cool. But you know how I said I torture myself with assembly? Yeah, these things make me suffer. Badly. I didn't have too much of a hard time swapping out the hands, but I did have some trouble with the stand. I'm not sure if that's just a me thing or a Square thing or both. I also could not get the speech bubble attached for the life of me, and yes, I read the instructions, so that sucks, but I'm not shocked. The overall quality of the figure isn't what I'd call jaw-dropping, but it's definitely in line with the other Bring Arts figures. The paint detailing is nice, the sculpt is fine. The earring on her hood moves, which I think is actually really neat. I like it a lot. From a more objective viewpoint, I wouldn't call it quite worth the price tag, but I knew what I was getting into, and I'm happy to have Shoka on my shelf. Last we have Namine, who probably has the least merch out of the main Kingdom Hearts cast, if you even count her as main cast. I count her. She's been with us since the second game, even if her screen time after that was pretty much abysmal. Like Shoka, her looks are what I expected. I don't have a lot of remarks here. She comes with a couple of hands, a couple of accessories, most notably the sketchbook and the pencil. She also has her chair, which is cool. But there's nothing crazy. It works, actually, because she doesn't have a lot of items associated with her besides the sketchbook, which is here, and her fake charm thing from Chain of Memories. Yeah. I'm glad I now have Namine merch, though I will say it was extremely painful to swap out her parts. Honestly, this thing could fall apart at any second. She has a different bottom for if you want her to sit, and it has two parts that connect at the hip, and it's overall just a very weird and stressful experience to put together. Even now I have a gap there because I just couldn't get it to go all the way in. Also, she has panties for some reason, and the worst part is, I don't know if that will somehow tie into the lore 6 games from now. Like, Namine's plain white pantsu were crafted by Kairi's grandma and imbued with some all-powerful magic that allows the wearer to exist in multiple locations and unreality through PVC vessels. Anywho, that just about concludes today's video. Thank you for watching. Today's tea is good ol' Itoen Genmaicha Matcha, my go-to bag tea. And today's question is, what's a piece of media you love that you feel is underrated? Let me know in the comments. Ciao!